Okay, Incoterms do not automatically apply. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're buying and selling. You must discuss your Incoterms. There is no, that's what I'm looking for.
There's no set
That's the word
standard.
I'm
There's
looking
no
for.
standard for it.
Yep. So they do not determine ownership. It's a common misconception, but they do not determine ownership, and they do not address transfer of title.
Which is, I think, is the biggest myth that we see is title and ownership of the merchandise, and they just don't cover it. That's within your contract between the buyer and seller, and you can dictate that in that contract wherever you'd like to, whether it's 10% of payment, 50%, 100%, you name it. That's negotiable between you and your supplier or buyer.
They do not determine payment terms. They do not act as a substitute for a contract, define contractual rights, except for delivery, or breach of contract remedies. They do not protect parties from their own risk or loss, or cover the goods before or after delivery. I think that's something people forget about.
Yeah, insurance in general, I think, really needs to be addressed almost separately, even though the Incoterm would dictate this, the seller would need the insurance. I would verify that they're getting it, just get on the same page with that, because under a lot of these terms, they're really under no obligation to purchase insurance.
And last but not least, they do not specify details of the transfer, transport, or delivery of the goods. For example, container loading is not considered packaging, and definitely would need to be addressed in your contract. And then the only Incoterm that specifies unloading is our new Incoterm this year, DPU.
Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate this. I know that you mentioned this really quick, but somebody already has asked about it, so let's just touch on it again. I understand that Incoterms do not dictate the point where title to goods transfer or revenue recognition. Is this correct?
Yes, that is spot on. These matters should be specified within the provisions of your contract with your customer or vendor.